For this lesson, we are going to look at triangle sums. So similar to when we were doing some algebra problems with complementary and supplementary and vertical and adjacent angles, we're going to do the same thing but with triangles. So main rule to know is that the triangle angle sum theorem is that the sum of three angles in any triangle will always be 180 degrees. Okay, and then a couple things to note about the different types of triangles. You're probably familiar with equilateral triangles, which means all three sides are equal. Isosceles triangle means two sides are equal, and scalene means three sides are all different. So things to note about the angles. If the three sides are equal, the three angles are equal. For isosceles, when you have two equal sides, you also have two equal angles, okay? And then scalene, if there's three different sides, you have three different angles. So let's start with the basics, okay? When it's just kind of a simple problem. Here, we know the angles add up to 180. So I'm gonna take away the 34, take away the 56 to see what is left over for my third angle. And we get 90 degrees for this one. So x is equal to 90. Number two, remembering that that symbol means 90 degrees. So to find our missing angle, we're doing 180 minus 90 minus our other angle of 30 is going to give us that missing angle x is 60 degrees. Okay, number three. What's important to note here is that we have an isosceles triangle, which means that this angle x is the same as this angle x. So essentially, we have 180 minus the 34 is 144. And we're dividing it by 2 because the remaining measure is divided by two equal triangles. So 144 divided by 2 is 72. Okay, next one. Whoops, that was wrong. 146. My bad. 146 divided by 2 is 73. Okay, number 4. Same thing applying here. The difference is it gives us one of those congruent angles, right? This is isosceles, so these two sides are equal, which means these two angles are equal. So if this is 61, this one's 61, we're finding the leftover. So 180 minus 61 minus 61 is 58 degrees. Here, we are given some different information. We're gonna have to apply what we know about triangles, supplementary angles, complementary angles, etc., to find all of the missing measures. When we have it labeled like this, x, z, y, that means I'm starting at x, I'm going to z, and then going to y. So the angle that we're talking about is right here, okay? What I know is that these make vertical angles. So if this is 72, that tells me that right here is 72 degrees. For the next one, z, y, x, I'm starting at z, which is here, going to y, and then going over to x. So the angle that we're talking about is right here. What I note is that we have a straight line. Straight lines add up to 180 degrees. So if this is 134, I'm doing 180 minus 134, which is 46 degrees. Okay? And then our last one here is yxz. So I'm starting at y, going over to x, going up to z. So there, we are talking about this angle right here, which now we have two of our triangle measures. So I can do 180 minus 72 minus 46. And that gives us 62 degrees. Let's try another like that. So here we're looking at J, N, M. So starting at J, N, M is asking for this angle right here. These two make a straight line, which means that they're supplementary. So 180 minus 51 is going to tell us that angle measure, which is 129 degrees. Next one we're looking at is MLN. So I'm starting at M, going to L, going to N. So that's this angle right here. Well, we know this is 51. We know that's 90. So what is left over when we're doing finding the calculation here? That's 39 degrees, because 180 minus 90 minus 51 leaves us with 39 degrees. And then last one, KLN, starting at K, going to L, going to N. We are looking for this angle right here. Again, these form a straight line, which means these two angles here should be 180 degrees. So 180 minus 39 gives us 141 degrees. Okay, the last part we're looking at is doing kind of some algebra, setting up equation problems to find the value of x and then find the missing angle measures. We know that triangles add up to 180 degrees, so I'm going to set up an equation. 4x plus 6x plus 2x should equal 180 degrees. Then I'm going to simplify, okay? 4 plus 6 plus 2 is 12x is equal to 180 degrees. And then last up, we're going to divide both sides by 12, and we get that x is equal to 15. Now I'm going to go back and plug this in for each value. This is 4 times x, so 4 times 15 is 60 degrees. This is 6 times 15, which is 90 degrees. And this is 2 times 15, which is 30 degrees. Okay, number 8. Again, we just have a little bit more to these, but the same thing. I'm going to do 2x plus 20 plus 2x minus 5 plus x plus 10 should equal 180 degrees. Let's simplify this. I've got 2 x's, and an x. That's a total of 5 x's. I have positive 20 minus 5 is 15, plus 10 is 25, equals 180. Now we're back at a simple two-step equation that you can solve. We can subtract 25 from both sides. We get 5x equals 155. Divide by 5, and we get x is equal to 31. Now we go back to plug in. So here we're doing 31 plus 10 is 41 degrees. Here, 2 times 31 is 62, plus 20 is 82 degrees. And here, 2 times 31 is 62, minus 5 is 57 degrees. I'm going to double check and make sure that adds to 180. So I'm going to plug in 41 plus 82 plus 57, and sure enough, that equals 180 degrees. If it didn't, I would know I did something wrong. Okay, number 9. It's showing that these two angles are equal. So this angle is also 3x minus 1. So I've got 2x plus 6 plus 3x minus 1 plus 3x minus 1 is equal to 180 degrees. Now we're going to simplify. 2x's plus 3 more x's plus 3 more x's is a total of 8x's. Then positive 6 minus 1 is 5, minus 1 is 4. So plus 4 equals 180. And solve our equation. Subtract 4 from both sides. We get 8x equals 176. And last part, we are dividing both sides by 8. We get x is equal to 22. So now I'm going to go back and plug that in. Here, 22 times 2 plus 6 is 50 degrees. And then here, 3 times 22 minus 1 is 65 degrees. So this should also be 65 degrees. Well, let's double check. 65 plus 65 plus 50. Does that give me 180? Yes, that worked.